half a billion probably.
Well, actually, the thing is, like, not anymore, but because they would,
Get
wouldn't be,
eaten.
they wouldn't get eaten, but they would break down.
Nah, them
So
little
especially,
nibblers,
like,
bro. Them. They be eating them out.
Yeah, especially like really deep parts of the ocean. There's like so much pressure down there that they wouldn't be able to.
Imagine getting swallowed by a whale. That would be so, like, you know how crazy that would be? Because, like, could you imagine, like, life is just so normal, and then you be swallowed by a whale, like a big blue whale, and you make it out? Life would not be the same. Life would not be the same after being in a whale's mouth.
That would be terrifying.
Like a whale's mouth the size of, like, your room. Where you could like move around.
Oh my fucking god.
Like bristles, like a big hump, like a big blue whale. That would be terrifying. You would not be the same. Like you get sloshed around and it's like, yeah, I can't swallow you cuz it can't you would honestly, a whale would probably try to eat, like if you were among a batch of like shrimp, a whale would probably eat you.
The thing is, it's just the only whale that would be likely capable of swallowing a human would be a toothed whale. This because like most whales, they eat prey.
Yeah, they eat shrimp, but they can't even swallow you. So they would.
Sperm whale, which eats prey such as giant squid, a sperm whale did ram and sink the whale ship XX, but there are no reliable reports of a sperm whale ever eating a human.
No.
So
but here's the thing. You're among a batch of shrimp, right? And this blue whale doesn't see you. The biggest whale. The big blue whale. And it's got the bristles, it eats shrimp. You're among this batch of shrimp and it doesn't see you. You go in its mouth, right?
You could probably swim out.
You're in its mouth. You're being sloshed around, right? It can't swallow you, right? So you get sucked towards its throat. But then it doesn't swallow you because it can't. And you desperately try to swim out of there. Could you imagine? Like, you got like a scuba tank so you can breathe and everything. You're trying to swim out of a whale. You know how crazy that would be? You would never be the same after escaping a whale's mouth. You would compare every room you're in to that whale's mouth. You would never go swimming again. You'd be like, you would never want to go in a room. You would never want to be in a room less than like 100 feet by 100 feet because you would just have flashbacks to trying to escape this whale's mouth. You would never.
You're giving me flashbacks right now. I haven't even done it.
You would never be the same. That would be, honestly, out of anything, that would probably be the craziest thing anyone could do.
It's honestly like if you.
It's probably been done.
That's scary, but the things that can happen to you, like it's just crazy if you think about it. Things that can
like life seems so normal, but then like if you go out and do stuff, so much crap could happen. Honestly, someone has probably been swallowed by a whale and they probably escaped, and no one's probably believed them. But then they would just be living their whole life.
Named James Barley. He says, okay, James Barley. He's a.
How did he survive? They cut open the whale?
What?
He probably crawled his way out.
Hold on, wait.
He would have been
found. No, he was found.
No.
Days later. Like he got.
He would have. How would he not be burnt up by the acid?
Why would I don't think a sperm whale's stomach would need to be that strong because they just have shrimp all day. I don't know.
What's his name?
James Bartley. The story was reported that during a whale expedition off the Falklands Islands, Barley's boat was attacked by the whale and he landed inside of the whale's mouth. He survived the ordeal and was carved out of the stomach by his peers when they, not knowing he was inside, caught and began skinning the whale. because of the hot weather, which would have rotted the whale meat. It was said that he was in the whale for 36 hours. So a day and a half.
Could you imagine? You're in a whale. You got nowhere to move. What? You would be. You would have to like.
No, look at it. It says it was also said that his skin had been bleached by the gastric juices and that he was blind for the rest of his life.
Could you imagine?
You can't see anything. Your skin is burning.
You're being burnt for 36 hours. You would be in constant pain. You'd be worried that whole time. You would just be. That would be insane.
You'd probably faint or like have a.
Cause like if he was awake for most of that time, there's probably a time where he's like, all right, this is it. He was probably thinking that the whole time. Could you? That's insane. He was never the same.
Yeah,
oh, he's lucky he was blind, so he couldn't relate anything to it anymore. Oh my God.
Oh, it's even worse because all you can see for the rest of your life is fucking darknesses, which is the same thing you saw when you're in that whale.
Yo.
Dude, fucking kudos to this guy. Jesus Christ.
In the whale. I think it'd be crazier if you were in the big blue whale's mouth though, and you're at its throat trying to swim out, but it's keep on swallowing, sucking you in. That would be even crazier though, because like,
I don't know if this is true though.
I feel like being in a blue whale would be crazy.
Let's say that like more like the facts were investigated by historians who pointed out that there were many inconsistencies.
You so easily could be swallowed up by a blue whale, and you could like so easily try to escape it.
There are a lot of people that were on the boat that said it wasn't true.
It's like it spits you out through its whole thing. Cause like,
I don't think it's true, honestly.
it's plausible. But like, he probably would have died by then.
Yeah, there's no way he would have been alive for 36 hours. And if so, he definitely would have fainted or passed out.
He probably did. He probably, like,
I don't know. What other crazy
you could
shit
you could so easily fit. The blue whale's mouth is so easily like the size of my room.
Not a blue whale.
But like, going in a blue whale's mouth is so. It's so possible. Like that's so could have like a blind blue whale. It's just got its mouth open, and you just get gulped up, and you're like, "Get me out of here."
There's no way he would fit in a sperm whale's stomach.
How would he have like breathed?
That's the thing. There's no
Cause like
way.
its lungs carried air away. Cause you don't have air in your stomach.
I don't think it's true, honestly.
I don't know, probably not. The blue whale thing though, that would be. You would never be the same. Like. Nothing would top that. Your life would just.
Yeah.
That would be the peak of your existence. Like, there's nothing that gets better than going in a blue whale's mouth and
Can you
escaping.
imagine how surprised you would be if you came out alive?
Like I'd say like you have like a 99% chance of surviving that though, cause like it's not gonna swallow you. The only thing that could happen is you drown in its mouth.
Only man ever in the history of the entire world, recorded world, to be swallowed by a fucking blue whale and survive.
It's probably happened. Like, but like the thing is like they've probably done it, but they probably like drowned. But like if you had scuba gear and enough air, you could probably swim out. But the thing is, mathematically, if there was no water separating you from the whale, since the whale is moving, you would be moving on the whale. But since there's water separating you two, when the whale moves, like say the whale is moving forward and you're in the middle of its mouth, you're gonna move towards the back of its mouth unless you're moving the same speed as the whale and you're like swimming, because you're not attached to the whale. So you'd have to outswim the whale. You would have to outswim the whale to be able to escape. And the whales, they don't just stand still. So unless they're sleeping, you would either have to wait till the whale sleeps and then pry its mouth open, or outswim the whale. Because
Imagine getting out of the whale and then you're like a mile deep in the ocean. and
or
you're
crawl out of its whole thing.
How would you you wouldn't be able to survive that because you'd already be like a fucking mile deep.
I mean,
Fucking-
yeah. I mean, no, because you're inside its mouth. You
Yeah,
could,
but
if you,
whales- I don't think whales
if you
go
rise
down.
at the, imagine surviving a whale and then like you get out its mouth, you're like slowly going up so you don't die from the pressure. Like you wait and then go up,
Yeah, the only
and then
way
you
you'd be
die
able to
from a shark. You just get eaten.
The
You
only
you
way
can't
you'd
tell
be able to
anyone.
survive if the whale died, because you'd have to get up out of the water, and that would be impossible.
I mean, the only plausible thing, the only like survivable case, it's like couple meters down, like 10, 20 meters into the water. You come out, its mouth is open, you outswim the whale. It's not going too far fast. You got flippers on, you outswim it. You come up from the water, and then there's like a boat waiting for you. That's the only like survivable thing. Because the whales, they're not close to the beach most of the time. That'd be so scary. You would never look at anything the same. You would just see the whale's face. The only thing is like, the only way you can do that is voluntarily, because this whale's not gonna eat you unless it just doesn't see you. You'd have to swim into its mouth. Alright. The one and only thing on my bucket list is going in a blue whale's mouth and swimming out.
Okay, you get that goal. Yeah.
I'll be
You
like 37, and then I'll remember it, and then I'll go to the local Florida, right? I'll buy a scuba gear.
No, Graham, you're gonna be like an old man, and you're gonna have like a bunch of grandkids.
And then my like hip will fail me while I'm swimming out, and then I die.
You'll be like, young blood, come with me.
Young Lin,
Going on an adventure.
we are going. Tell your papa.
Tell
you
your
won't be
papa we're
here.
going to Starbucks.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
gonna
you-
see stars, and this is gonna cost a lot of bucks.
But anyway, like,
We're gonna be like, what's
you
going
have your
on,
son-
papa?
You have your son take you out on a boat. Drop me.